Yeah, we'll wait 2 more minutes and then we'll start.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Mm, so no one is joining. Yeah, we'll start in a minute. 8, 10.
Yeah, Ramcharan, you can start it.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Raj. Yeah. Okay, guys. This is our first session on web development. Like, not only React, we also need to understand some of the basic concepts. So we'll start from very beginning, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, right? So like we have the chat window, right, in Teams. Um, so like you can ask questions in the chat if I'm explaining you something and you're not understanding in the middle. So instead of unmuting yourself and asking the question, you can also type in the chat. And also, like before talking, please before speaking, please raise your hand so that like we can go questions one by one. uh, g- you got my point, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So so raise your hand. There is nothing wrong to raise the hand. So if you have any questions, please raise the hand and we'll go one by one. And how many of you are good and like you already know HTML and CSS? Can you type in the chat now so that we can quickly test? So how many like of you know HTML, CSS, and you did some practice? at least raise hand so that I can see. Okay, Satish, Satish Triveni. So, okay, Santosh. Okay, so Satish, like, have you practice? You can unmute. Have you also practiced instead of knowing HTML and CSS?
Yes, sir. A little bit practice, sir.
Okay, so you have to spend at least, like, in the beginning times, you have to spend at least 2 hours in a day
Okay.
to practice the CSS and like HTML. Like, mostly you will be remembering the elements, but CSS is little bit like more weight, so you have to practice CSS, right? Mm, and who else? Triveni is there. Bhagwan. Okay. Okay. Thank you. You can lower the hands raised. Okay. So we'll start with the very basic thing, guys. Okay. I'll share my screen and we'll start by looking into why we are into this uh, situation where, like, we are learning React, right? Our ultimate goal is to learn React, but why we are starting it, and what is the use and significance of it to learn React. Okay, I'll quickly share my screen. Let me know if you see my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Visible.
Okay, sure. So we'll go with the very basic thing, like how internet works. Okay, so this is a first question that should come in all of your minds, that how internet works. So we are building some applications, and we are accessing those applications via internet. So internet is a medium for us, right? So let's take this step first, like understanding how internet works. So then we will break down this into multiple levels so that we'll understand why we are learning React. Okay. So first, like we have some things called servers, right? So we have a server. Okay. So this is a server, and like server is connected to a database, right? So we have a database. Simple, right? So this server is there, and we have database also. So to store some information, we'll use database, and the server is connected to database. Okay, and front end side. So this is back end, guys. Okay, and front end side, we will have a client. So this is client, and this is server, and let's take this as a database. Okay, so how we are going to connect to the client to the server? That is the question mark, right? So we have to get some information from the server. So let us be clear here. What is client? Okay, so anyone from of like anyone from you, one of you can tell me examples of clients. What is a client? Any example of a client? Anyone? Yes, no? You can ping in the chat. I'll see here. Yes, no. Do you know what is a client? Guys, I need acknowledgement. Okay, yes or no? Someone, anyone? Yeah, Google Chrome. Very good. So client is like a login page, like front end. Provide services to customer. Next, anyone more? So client is nothing but a browser environment. Okay, that is user interfaced. Like there is a user sitting. Okay, so we have a user for our application. So let's take a person as an example. Okay, so he will see our website by using the client. Okay, so client examples I'll give you. I'll write here Google Chrome browser, right? We have other browsers like Mozilla Firefox. Okay, Mozilla Firefox. And we have like Internet Explorer, right? Safari. This is a browser. So all browsers are clients. Okay, all the browsers are clients. And client can be anything, guys. Like not only the browsers. If you have a mobile, right? So mobile is also a client. The any app that you build or any website that you build, so it uses a environment, so that is client. Okay, so without client we cannot connect to the server. So currently I am running like I opened this teams microsoft.com, right? So what medium I used Google Chrome to open Teams website. So Google Chrome is my browser here. So it is a client. So we have to have a client to connect to the server. Clear? So here, like anything is that is connecting to the backend server will be a client. So how this connection happens is we will not directly connect, guys. Okay. So we will not directly connect to the server. Okay. So there is something called internet. Okay. So there is something called internet. So this is internet. Let's take an example. So this is internet. So internet is a medium to connect to the to connect this client and server. Okay. So here this server is connected to the internet and our client is connected to the internet. So that's why without the data, or like if you don't have, see currently I connected to a Wi-Fi here, right? So I connected to a Wi-Fi, and if like you don't have mobile data, for example, so then you cannot connect to the internet. Okay, so you have to connect to the internet first to connect with the server. Understood? Everyone clear here? Like that's why this internet concept is came. Like, so our browser, let's say I don't have internet, so if I search something, it will give us no internet, right? because client will connect to the internet, and internet is a medium for us. And so we have servers will be connected to internet, clients will be connected to internet, and there is something called HTTP protocol. I'll tell more details in that client and server communication. But right now you should have understanding that this complete thing, whatever is there here on the left hand side of this line, is front end. Okay, so this is front end, and this is back end. We call it as back end. So front end side, like we have some frameworks to build our website. Okay, so whatever the information, like we will create one project, right? So we have one project, and we host that project in the server, in the backend side servers. Okay, we host that project, and that whatever the client requests, so that resource will be passed to the client from the server to the client. Okay, so this is front end and back end, and I'll tell you, like we have like HTML. Okay, so I'll write one by one. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. Okay, we have HTML here, CSS, and JavaScript, and just give me a minute. Um, okay, so here we have like these technologies on the front end side: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. Okay, what is HTML? So why we use HTML? So I'll tell you, like HTML creates the structure of the website. Okay, structure or skeleton. HTML, we write HTML to structure our website. Okay, so any web application we build, first we write HTML code to give a structure of the website, and the appearance, the like how the website looks, right? So those things we add here. Okay, so this CSS is used to style our website, like how our website is going to look. So let's take an example, like we have one button. Okay, so we have this button. So this button is an element in HTML, and what color I need to have this button, that we'll write in the, let's take, like we want our button to be blue color. So we apply CSS style so that the button will be in blue color. Okay, so this is CSS, and JavaScript is something where you add behavior to your application. Okay, so behavior means when we click a button, right? So what happens? Let's take, like this is a button, and when I click this button, I need a pop-up to be opened, like some pop-up, uh, like so whenever I click something, right? So like let's say, like I click this share button, so this pop-up is opened, right? this model dialog box, whatever you call it. So this is done by JavaScript. So all the business logic, like we will we'll write in JavaScript. So JavaScript is a programming language. Okay. So HTML, CSS, those are not programming languages. Okay. So I mean programming languages, right? So that is having logic in it. So these are not logical languages, HTML and CSS. So HTML means hypertext markup language, but not a programming language. Hypertext markup language. Okay, if you have any book beside you, you can take down the notes. Okay, like instead of just listening, you can also take down the notes to understand, right? HTML means hypertext markup language. CSS means cascading style sheets. Style sheets. Okay. And JavaScript is a programming language. React is a front-end library. Okay, it's a front-end UI library built with JavaScript. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, front-end UI library. It is built with JavaScript, and you use that library. Okay, so in this way, these are the technologies that we use in the front end side. Okay, and forget about the back end as of now. Okay, I don't want to overwhelm you to get into more details into the internet, because you have HTTP protocol, DNS, how DNS works, right? So what is IP address? So all those things are there. Okay, and if you feel bored, let me know. I'll stop here regarding this internet. But if you are interested to know more, tell me now. Like, do you want to go into more detail into the internet side? Uh, like, are you guys following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Sir.
API client. Uh, Sorry, I am not able to listen. What was that? Hello? Someone, like, if you are not able to follow, please let me know. Okay, like in the chat. If you can't able to speak also, like if you're unable to speak, you can type in the chat. So anyone having doubts here? Because I did not tell you more detailed into the internet, but just understand that there is a concept called internet which connects our client and server. Okay, how we are connecting, that is not a matter now, but understand this, that client and server communication needs to be happen. Any doubts, guys, until this
No,
point of
sir.
time?
No, sir.
Any
sir.
doubt? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. 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 So I'll explain more. Like, if you are getting bored in this internet concept, we'll directly start with the HTML. But let me know, like, if you are interested in understanding this more, there are more two concepts. I'll explain quickly. If not, we'll discuss tomorrow also. Like if you want, we'll continue from here tomorrow regarding the internet, how this is set up, or else do you want it now? So that like we have more 1 hour time till 9:30. So like we can have more details into this. If you want, I'll tell you. If you don't want, I'll start with the HTML. So everyone clear until this point of time? Just let me know, like how many of you want to discuss more on the internet side, and how many of you want to start HTML basics. So just let me know in the chat. So if you want more about the internet, I'll explain now. Like at least 15 minutes to half an hour, I'll explain this architecture. But if you feeling bored on the internet side, I'll start HTML. So just type in the chat, like how many of you interested on the internet side. Good. Satish is asking to start with HTML. Anyone? I'll take the majority. Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I'll go with HTML. Okay. But please understand these concepts. These are very important concepts to like understand like the entire end-to-end workflow. Okay. Okay. So first let's start with HTML. So all of you, like in your like you might have Explorer, right? Windows Explorer. So in the Explorer, like you create a folder, something called code. Okay. So this single folder should be the single source of code. Okay. So only single source. So for example, someone is asking you to create a website, you should not create outside. Everything should be in the code. Okay. So you, like I do multiple projects, so based on that I separated my folders here. Okay, some personal things, some like if I want to test something out, I'll like write playground. I'll go into playground and I'll do some stuff here. And if I'm like trying to start with a new framework or something, I'll start here. Okay. So this is JavaScript starter, React starter, React Native starter, TypeScript starter. So all starter files, right? And like I do multiple projects, like some of personal projects. So I separate it like this. So now in I'm maintaining this training folder for you. Okay. But you can name however you want. You can separate the folders, and inside that folder you create all your things. Okay. So on last class I told you React starter, right? So if I want to circle back again, so that I can easily come here, I go into code and training, and I'll open this folder in VS Code. So in this way, I can easily find my folder. So don't use some naming conventions like this. Okay, let me take an example here. So don't use something like I rename this AAA. Okay, don't do this. Most of the freshers will do this. Okay, I saw many of you will create some random folder with a random name. So all the naming conventions of the folder should be meaningful. Okay, guys. So
Sir.
so I'll open this training. So in training, I'll create one folder. Okay, you also create one folder and name it as HTML basic or whatever you like, basic or HTML starter. So you name that folder and open that folder in the VS Code. Okay. So I use terminal, but in your case, you use command prompt. Okay. So I use this terminal. So I'll open this HTML basics in this terminal, and I'll just type code dot so that it will open in the VS Code. So in this way, we create a folder. Okay. And here you directly write one file called index.html. Index.html. Okay. And I wanted you to install some of the plugins available, the extensions or plugins in VS Code. Okay. So here you have an icon called extensions. So you click on these extensions and you install few of the packages that the plugins that I'll tell you. Like mostly you might not need everything right now, but just install the server. Okay. L- okay, I'll tell you. So here I have something called go live, right? So you type live server. Okay. So this one, the live server. So this extension should be installed. I already installed. So I'm having these buttons, disable and uninstall. But in your case, you install this live server plugin. Okay, clear? So I'll write some basic HTML. Like if I give exclamation here. So here we have this snippet, right? Emmet snippet. Emmet is also an extension that is built into VS Code. So it will give us some of the predefined snippets when we write these commands. This exclamation, when I give exclamation, right? So it will give you all this code. So doc type HTML and head, you have head, body. So this will create a basic structure of our HTML. Okay, so when I click enter, right, so this will give the boilerplate code, the basic structure of our application, and so that we can start our structuring our website from here. Okay, and this is the HTML file, and we have only one HTML file now. So this will be our starting point. So mostly why we are giving index.html. HTML means it is a extension. Okay, the file extension, file name extension. So .html. For CSS we have .css. For JavaScript we have .js. So those are all extensions of files. Like how you have MP3, MP4, right? MP3 .mp3 means music. Uh, uh, like the ringtones or any music audio files, and .mp4 means a video files. So in that way, this is a HTML document. So here we are in the first line, the doc type is HTML. So this is for the sake of server understanding. Okay, we will host this. We will host these files inside the server so that server will understand, okay, this is a HTML document, right? And we have tags or elements in HTML. So HTML means nothing else. Everything you have to remember. Hardly you will spend like around 7 days of time. You will be a pro in HTML. Okay, this is all enough. 7 days is enough for us to understand HTML. Nothing more, nothing less. I'll tell you some of the concepts. You go through it, and any doubts anywhere you can ask me in the group or anywhere. But to become a pro in HTML, you just need 7 days. Okay, and you have to remember everything. Whatever it is there, you have to remember the tag names. Okay, now you have body, right? So you have headings, H1. Okay, so this is a heading, and if you like you want a paragraph, then you have to remember this p tag. Okay, everything you have to remember, all the tags you have to remember. So I'll tell you that we have something called cheat sheet. Okay, HTML cheat sheet. So you can find whatever cheat sheet you like. You just open that cheat sheet. Okay, so here I am opening one cheat sheet. So this HTML cheat sheet, you have to download from any source. Okay, you in the open internet, you type HTML cheat sheet, and then you will have some basic tags here, right? So HTML, head, body, title, all these basic tags. And let's take some examples, like in the list, you have unordered list, ordered list. Okay, in tables, like we have something called tables. Okay, so table tag. Okay, it's not visible, I'll zoom in. Table, table row, table data. Okay, table head, and form elements, like we will have input boxes with input types. Okay, I'll just tell you the basic syntax, the signature of this HTML, so that you will understand how we have to write the syntax of HTML. But everything is same again. If you understand the syntax of HTML and you remember all these tags, if you can't remember, you use a cheat sheet. Okay, you come here, so that on you habit of usage, you might know more and more. Okay, so HTML cheat sheet, and that is your go document that you should have upfront in learning HTML. So you have to maintain a cheat sheet, or you can also prepare your own cheat sheets or some notes, so that you will understand. Okay, so clear, guys? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay, yeah. So HTML, you understood, right? So now coming here, I have written in the body. Okay, so we understand this structure. Okay, so here we have body, right? Right, body, and we have a head here, head and body. So these are two things in the HTML. So I'll explain the syntax later, but let's just quickly run this in the server, that the live server that we had a plugin, right? So we'll run this in the server. Okay, so that is a local server. So we create a local environment. So this extension, the live server, will actually start a local server. Okay, our computer will also be act as a server. So now just I wrote a hello world example in HTML, and let us run this. Okay, so when you right click, right, so you will get this open with live server, or you can directly click this button to go live. Okay, so this will start our server. Okay, you see this, it automatically started a live server on port 5500, localhost 5500. Okay, this is 127.0.0.1, means local. Okay, it's local host. So if you type localhost also, then this is same. If you type 127.0.0.1 or localhost, both are same, no difference. So whatever I type here, the source code, this is called source code. Okay, whatever the code that I type will be reflected in the browser. You don't need to refresh, or you don't need to do anything, just you have to save the file. So here I'll write one paragraph, p tag, and this is our first HTML session. So it's not saved, guys. So if you save, then only this will reflect, this code will reflect if you save this. Okay, so I saved here, then you will get the paragraph here. Okay, so we'll go more into document object model. What is DOM? Okay, document object model. But you a quick view I'll show. You have to inspect. Okay, you have to right click and inspect this page so that you will get a document model here. Okay, document object model. So you will get a tree here, like you have head. Inside HTML you have head and body, and inside body you have h1, the heading, and paragraph. Okay, so heading and paragraph. So this is inside our body. So we have head also, head, we have title. Got my point? Like this is the way to start practicing the HTML. So you type here, like you start uh, practicing some of the concepts that I'll tell you, or else I after this session also, like I will ping all the topics. um just give me a minute, guys. Okay, I'll be back, just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Mm, okay, so how many of you are like still not practiced HTML? I just wanted to know the names here. So HTML, how many of you don't know? So everyone knows HTML, but I wanted who else is not yet practiced well. Guys, be transparent. Okay, if nothing wrong if you don't know HTML. Okay, everyone comes with a different background. Okay, it's like you maybe you might know Python, or you might know other programming languages and Java. So there is a gap in understanding the front end. Okay, so that you might not know HTML, that's okay. But let me know, like you know HTML, that I know, but how many of you not yet started practicing HTML? I'll ask one by one. Okay, Santosh.
Sir.
Santosh, did you
Yes, sir.
practice? Yeah, you practiced HTML tags, elements.
Yes, sir.
Okay, how many days? Like roughly.
Mm, 4 days.
Okay, okay. Who else? Triveni.
Yes, sir.
Like, where do you stand in understanding and like practicing in HTML?
Means I practiced a lot, sir. HTML, CSS.
Okay, you practiced a lot. Very good. Okay, who else not practiced? No one? Is anyone who else not yet practiced HTML? Because I'll take a one-to-one session with that guy, or who is there. I'll take a one-to-one session, uh, so that we will start, like you will understand more. If you don't know HTML, just let me know, okay? Even after the call also you can ping me personally, so that, because guys, tomorrow React, okay, so you learn React, right? This React, you should not stick with the React, you should not fall in love with this React, or any other framework, okay? So not only React, we have a lot of frameworks, right? We have Angular, okay, Vue.js, other frameworks as well. So never fall in love with this frameworks or libraries, because I'll tell you. So you have these basic things, right? Here, HTML, you have HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These technologies are going nowhere, okay? For example, you have some other framework coming in apart from React, like you have Angular, right? And tomorrow there might be another framework comes into picture. So even any framework comes into our picture, this HTML, CSS, JavaScript are going nowhere, because these are built into the browsers, okay? Google Chrome understands HTML, it understands CSS, it understands JavaScript, okay? Google Chrome is having a V8 engine inside it that understands JavaScript only, okay? So that's why you have to, the foundation should be right. If you are not practicing these things when you are starting, and let's say you directly jumped into React and you worked for 4 months or 5 months or 1 year, and if you try to go back to learn HTML again from the scratch or CSS from the scratch, trust me, you will not get time to look into that, okay? So this is a very baby steps that we are taking in, so that you have to be foundationally strong with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These are three things. If you don't practice now, you're not going to understand in the future as well. You'll not get time, or you might not understand some if you go into deeper levels of concepts. Okay, so you practiced, like someone told, like practiced a lot, right? So there is something called semantic elements and non-semantic elements, right? So can someone explain, like, what is semantic elements, what are semantic elements? Can you give some examples of semantic elements? Don't use chat GPT or anything in the background, just type some of the semantic elements. Anyone, examples of semantic elements? Do you know semantic elements in HTML?
Sir, div, span, header, navbar, nav, footer.
Yeah, div and span, those are not semantic, okay? So we previously have them. See, previously what happened is, before HTML5, we used to code a div. Div means a division or divider, right? So everywhere we use div, like div and another div, right? So let's say we have a header in our header component, or header in our application. So we give an ID header like this, div
Yes, sir.
header.
Header, nav,
And
article, footer.
yeah, those are semantic elements.
Yes, sir.
Okay, who is that?
Sir, Bhagwan
Who?
Kumar.
Bhagwan. Yes, you are right. So so previously we have something like this. So we used to use divs, right? But now with HTML5 version, we have something called semantic elements, so that meaningful names are given to the elements. Like we have header element, footer element, okay? And if you have like navigation, right? So links, so the nav element. Okay, so
Sorry,
section,
sir.
article.
Div and span are non-semantic elements. Div and span.
Yeah. So those doesn't come under semantic. Those is like div, whatever the previous tags, like if you see h1p, these are not semantic. Okay, so there are a lot of tags, guys. You have to remember all those tags. If you want, like tomorrow we will do some concepts, but not today. But tomorrow we will go by one, like we go by a concept wise. Okay, now
Yes, sir.
I'll put some of the concepts that you that you have to learn. Okay, so once I explain this, I'll give you the concepts, but understand like the syntax. Okay, so I'll explain you the syntax. Okay, our main goals now here is in the HTML. So I'll give some of the concepts also, and also the syntax. So from there, you start your journey in HTML in learning. Okay, so I'll give you the concepts first. Take a notes. Okay, this is a new note. Okay, so HTML, you have to learn the basics of HTML. Okay, I think is this visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Visible.
Sir.
Okay, so if not, if you have an option to pinch like zoom, pinch out to zoom or something, you do, so that like you will see this. Okay, so basics of HTML. Okay, and inside this, um okay, this is not helping me, so I'll create one more thing. Pages, let me create a new page for you. Okay, so HTML. Okay, HTML, what is HTML? HTML means hypertext,
Markup language.
right? Hypertext markup language. So this HTML. So first you have to know the basics of HTML. Okay, basics of HTML. So in this, you understand like what is HTML. First you have to understand what is HTML, right? What is HTML? And then you have to understand the HTML document structure. So like you have a doc type, right? Doc type and HTML tag, HTML element, head, body, right? So these are the basic HTML document structure. So there is syntax. So you have to know some naming conventions, differences. Okay, elements, right? What is element? What is a tag? Tags, attributes. Okay, attributes. So you have to understand these names. What is an attribute? What is a tag? What is an element? Okay, and semantic versus non-semantic tags. This comes in our first point. Okay, so now you understood all these, and then you start with some common component, common elements that we use. Okay, common elements. common HTML elements. Okay, you start with this, like heading. Okay, headings. So we have headings tags from H1 to H6. Okay, paragraphs, like you have P tag. Okay, some line breaks or horizontals. Okay, so like for line breaks or horizontal rule. Okay, so to have a line in our web page, so then we use some tags like break, we use BR, and horizontal rule HR. Okay, and text formatting, like for text formatting, so you have few tags like bold, if you want to make a bold element, or italic or underline, so you use BIU tags. Okay, and also like you use something called strong or emphasize. EM means emphasize. Okay, EM is similar to italic only, bold, italic, underline, emphasis. So these are the tags that, so you can also format the text by using CSS, but it will be handy if you know these tags, so that you will quickly format the text instead of going into CSS and write CSS. Okay, so you do some practice with this, right? Then you have some things like links. So let's take say for example you have google.com, and when you click on that, you have to redirect to the Google website. So those kind of things you have like links like a. Okay, a means anchor tag. Okay, anchor tag, you have to understand this anchor tag. And this is one thing. And fourth one is lists. Okay, so you have ordered list, OL, unordered list, UL. Okay, list item, LI. I'm writing directly the names here, but you have to understand what is OL, LI, UL. Okay, and inside list you also have description lists like DL. Okay, DL, description list. So you go into this. Okay, description DT, like description title, or DD, description data. So these kind of tags you will have. So next, you understand tables. Okay, tables. So in tables you have table tag, and table row, table data, or table cell also we can call, table head, right? These are table tags. And then you go you can have some multimedia tags as well, like images or audio or video. So for that, so these called like multimedia, like, okay, multimedia tags. So this, you have something called image tag, audio tag, video tag, source tag. Okay, you have these tags. And next, um list, tables, right? And forms, guys, this is very important in learning HTML. Forms is very important. You have to understand the form tag, form, right? And inside you have input, text area. Okay, mostly you will use this for comments. Text area, right? Select is used for drop down values. And select, option. Okay, and button is also a form, like uh, element only. So you have many more in this. So you have to spend most of your time in forms, tables, lists. So these are important. Okay, forms, tables, lists. These are very much important. You have to spend a lot of time in understanding these things. I'm not going into deeper, but these are some of the things. And next, so some other miscellaneous things you learn. Okay, until this point of time, you're good. You understand. You are very much into HTML, and you don't need to like go back and understand these things again and again. So some other miscellaneous in the sense like some tags in head. Okay, you write in head like meta tags. You will write for SEO or for other things. You will use meta and title. Okay, and link. If you want to link some CSS file with HTML, you use this. And style. If you want to directly write CSS styles in your HTML file, you'll use style tag. Okay, if you want to write like link a JavaScript file with the HTML, then you use script tag. So these are all tags. So now I will give you the basic structure. Okay, so from here onwards, like I'll explain you the basic structure, and so you have to understand all these concepts, and you can practice on your own, or else we will also mostly we will pick few topics in this and we'll start. But this point of time, I'll just explain the basic syntax of HTML. Okay, so you have to like understand the basic structure. Okay, so I'll clearly tell you. So before going to the basic syntax, anyone, any questions? Anyone?
Sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, okay, good. So you are understanding, right? If I am going too fast or go too slow, you can tell me. Okay. So
Okay,
for
sir.
example, Triveni is not understanding. Okay. So if I'm going very fast, so you can message me like in the group, or in like you can contact me in WhatsApp. uh, and also like if no one like like there is no limitation for you to reach me. Okay, that is very clear. Anytime you can message me, you can ping me, or you can call me, right? So I'll just quickly wrap this up in like around in 5 minutes, and we'll also discuss about the project. I think we are also doing some of the project. Might some of you all are already having understanding of what project we are going to build, the capstone project. Right. So we will follow some of the best practices in handling that project. So we'll discuss more on that. I'll just wrap up quickly on HTML side by just explaining you the syntax, and I will also share this document like in our group, this document, the concepts, and also the syntax with you. So I'll share this document to you, and understand like you can do your own practice, or we can also have some practice sessions tomorrow, this week, or like coming 4 weeks, 4 days. We can understand more and more HTML, but try to understand HTML is for structuring our application, structuring our website. So without a proper structure, we cannot directly write CSS, right? For example, we have heading tag here. So without heading tag, you cannot write CSS. So first, basic thing, you have to structure your HTML, your document, the website. You have to give us predefined structure. Once you have the structure ready, then you apply CSS to it. Okay, so I'll tell you the syntax now. So you have a heading. Okay, so sorry, it's medium. Okay, so let's take one example like heading or paragraph, anything. Okay, I'll take paragraph. So you write one tag like this, paragraph. So this less than symbol and then the element or the tag or element name and greater than symbol. Okay, this is called open tag. Okay, similarly we have close tag. What is the difference between open and close? You write a forward slash here. Okay, open tag and close tags. For every element you have to have a closing tag. If you forget the closing tag, then the structure is not correct. Okay, so this is open tag and this is close tag. Not only for p tag, any tag you have to open and close, but there are some elements where you do not need close tags. Okay, let's take one example, image. Okay, image tag. So image tag, you don't need to have a uh, closing tag. Okay, so you write less than, img and greater than. So how you will close? You give a space and add that forward slash here. So this is called self closing tag. Okay, open tag.
So self-closing tag is used in input.
Yes, input also you can use self close. So there are self closing tags also. Okay, let's take
Break tag.
some more examples. Like we have more tags like for horizontal rule or a line break, hr, br. These tags also you don't need a separate closing tag. Okay, so this is main thing you have to follow. Like open, what is the difference between open and close? So open tag will not have this forward slash. Here we are closing with a forward slash. There are two slashes. Okay, don't be confused with this. I'll tell you, there are two slashes. One is above the enter keyword, this is backward slash. Okay, and this is forward slash. Don't confuse between these. So this is backward. Okay, and this is forward slash. There is a difference. So let us take one example here for you to understand this backward and forward. Okay, this is a clock. Okay, like let's say you have 12 o'clock. Okay, 12 and so you have 12, 3, 9, 6 and 9, right? 9. So if your time is less than like if your time is less than 12 o'clock, then it is backward. Okay, and if your time is more than 12 o'clock, okay, this is consider this as a hours like. Okay, so hours. So you write forward slash, then it's more than 12 o'clock, right? So let's take like here 1 2 we have in between. So if it is more, then it is forward. If you are less than 12, then it is backward. Clear? Uh, Sorry. Did you understand the difference between forward and backward slashes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you come here, you write a tag. So you call this P is there right here. So this is called a element. Okay, P is called element. So I'm writing it as red. So not the, don't consider the all these, like, okay. So I'll clearly write here by having less than, okay, less than P and okay, we are running out of the time, but that's okay. Let's go here. Okay, so we have less than and this name, the P. Okay, P means paragraph, and we have greater than symbol. So what is P here? What is P, guys? What is P?
Paragraph tag.
Elements.
Yeah, element. P means paragraph tag, but only P. This complete thing is a tag. I told you, right? Like, send backward. It's not going back. What should I do? Okay, so I'll remove the background. Okay, this complete thing is a tag, and it is by looking P, we know that it is a paragraph tag, but this P is called element. Okay, and this complete thing, like this P is element, the green color one, this is element, but by looking with this brackets, or the less than and greater than symbol or angle brackets, we can know that this is a open tag, open paragraph tag. And if you have this is close paragraph tag. This is a tag, guys, but this is a element, P element. So you write like this, and inside open and close you have something called content. Okay, you have a content, you write content inside it, P. So, and let me extend this more so that you'll understand more. Okay, so I move this here and more this here. So this open tag will give us a feasibility to add attributes now. So you have to, like, let's take one example. We add class. Okay, so let's take more space here. So this is a syntax. Okay, I'm telling you the syntax now. So this inside this open tag, you have something called attribute. Okay, this is attribute. Okay, and every time you write, like, every element will have multiple attributes, and you have one is equal to symbol. Okay, this is element and this is attribute, and you have to use double quotes. Don't use single quotes. Okay, you have to use double quotes only. And So this is a value. Okay, you give some value here. So you can write n number of attributes to any HTML tag. Like you have ID also. You give one ID, para1, something like this. So this is also an attribute. You separate a space, you add space here. So attribute, you have to understand attributes and values. Anyone having understanding this problem in understanding this? Yes, no? I'll write the code also, but as of now, get familiar with the naming conventions that we are using. Attributes, values. Okay. So write a class name here. Let's take one class like first. Okay. So the class name is, the value is first. So this is a value. Attributes, we have attributes and values. So elements, attributes and values. So each attribute you have to write is equal to symbol for sure and double quotes for values. This is the syntax, guys. Anyone having doubts, questions, anything?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. So here you see here, like if you go with the basics, right? So we know what is HTML, right? HTML means it's a markup language, hypertext markup language. We write it for structuring our websites. Okay. And we have some common elements like h1, h2, h until h6, right? So here I'll use one tag. Okay. Like let's take h1. Okay. This is heading 1. So now you can write a attribute here. So you have to first, so closing tags you will not touch, but in the opening tag only, after the element, h1 is element, right? H1 means h1 element. So after this you give a space, you type the class, the attribute name. Like let's take ID. Okay. And you give is equal to, and after is equal to you have double quotes, and ID, let's say heading 1. You can give any name as a value to that ID attribute. So what is ID? ID is a unique identifier to identify the element, and this is an attribute. Okay. You can also add class. So there will be lot of values. Okay. Like lot of attributes you will have, like autofocus, autocorrect, auto capitalize. So these are lot of like the attributes. Okay. So you will see the suggestions here, right? So these are attributes and values. So you have to know all of this. And like we can have h2. Okay. H2 tag. This is heading 2. So what is the difference? You can write until h6, no h7. Okay. Until h6 you can write. So if I save this, so h1 will be bigger in size, the font size, than h2. Okay. You might not see that much difference here, but see, this is heading 1, which is having font size large and heading 2 is small. So until heading 6 we can write. And for paragraphs we use p tag. Okay, so this is a basic syntax. For every attribute, for every element will have its own attributes. Let's say for example we have a form element. Okay, we are trying to write a form. Okay, so form will have its own attributes like action. Okay, or like on list, on submit. Okay, so these are attributes.
On change,
Yeah,
on click.
on change will be for input. Okay, on click will be for buttons. So
Yes,
for
sir.
every tag, like let's take input. Okay, so input will have on change listener. So this on change is an attribute. Okay, so in this way you you will see when you are learning HTML, you will meet lot of attributes. So you need not to remember all of the things, but most interviews they will ask, uh, can you name few values that you provide to the type attribute of input. So you cannot add a type for this h1. Okay, there is no attribute called type for h1. So every element will have its own type, own attributes. So type is only we will use it for input elements. So and input is also you can self close this input elements. And let's take like here, if I write, if I control space, I'll get lot of values here as a suggestions. Button, checkbox, color, date time. So input type is equal to file. Okay, so what it does, it gives us a input where I can upload my
File
image.
type. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Uploading.
uploading. So if you write type differently, then you will get a different one. Let's take like input type is equals to date. Okay, so then you will get a date picker, date time picker. This is
Like a calendar.
HTML. Yeah, yeah, calendar. This is called date picker also. You pick the date, right? You click this, you pick the date. So date picker. Okay, so in this way you will have lot of attributes and values. This is as simple as that. If you understand the structure, the syntax of HTML, this is the only syntax we follow for the entire HTML. What will change? Elements will change, attributes will change, values will change, but the syntax is same. Okay, we are good with HTML, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll pick few topics and we'll practice, and I'll also give one or two what to say, examples or tasks for you, like small tasks only, not that bigger tasks. I'll give you small tasks like create a form, uh, some kind of things like that, so that you will understand the concept instead of learning one by one. I'll give you few of them. I'll give you one task and other people another task, but you have to complete that on that day itself. Like for example, tomorrow I will give you some task. Okay, you have to show me on the next day, because these are very simple tasks, not that much advanced. Coming days, while we learn React, I will give you tasks, you have to do it, like in the project we are doing, right? So that those tasks or something, you will think about it and you can show me. Like apart from the project also, I'll give you some tasks, you have to show it in the weekend. And we are good here, right? Can someone confirm me that okay, we know a little bit of HTML now, right? Someone, are we good in understanding HTML? Anything we are missing? Any questions in HTML?
No, sir.
Okay, very good. So HTML is done, and we'll go once again to all of this, or like we will pick few topics, and remaining things you have to learn on your own. Okay, if I tell you one by one, and in the call you will sleep. Okay, so I don't want to tell all these things. Okay, so I'll just wrap up this session now in 5 minutes. So I'll share whatever the resources that are there. I'll share it in the chat. So, and any doubts, please ping me. And now, like I'll also share this image to you all. Okay, and okay. So apart from this, you how many of you are already assigned some work related to the project? Because I see some messages in the WhatsApp that you are picking some modules in the application, and you're telling, right? So how many of you already started working on the project? Bhagavan. Okay, anyone more? Okay, so I'll tell you, you separate. For example, you are working on a project. Okay, so you have two things. One is dependency. Okay, and the other one is blocker. Okay, guys, we are done with HTML. This is not HTML. Okay, this is something that you have to understand while working in a project. Okay, clear? Like we have to
Yes, sir.
understand. Yeah, we have to understand what is the difference between dependency and a blocker. So for example, you are working on one module. Okay, so Bhagavan, what modules you are working right now? If you not able to speak, you can also type in the chat. Or someone who is working already. Bhagavan, are you there? Or someone who is already working? Triveni, you are working? Any of the things?
Yes, sir. I started working on daycare module.
Okay, daycare module. Okay,
Yeah.
so in the daycare module,
Sir, I
like,
started working on school portal.
sorry?
Like, sir, school portal, like online exam and
Yes.
notifications like.
Okay. So let's take one example here. Okay. So you're working on some online exam. Okay. So in building that online exam module, okay, online exam. So you might have difficulty in accomplishing this task. You have to complete this module, but something is stopping you to complete this module. Okay. So we have to first identify that. Either it will be a dependency or it will be a blocker. Then only if you overcome these things, then your success. Okay, for example, let's say you have online exam, and you having one API, okay, to fetch the questions or answers, whatever it may be. So those questions, so if this API is not there, how you will complete this online exam module, right? So you're dependent on this API, right? So these kind of things, let's say you don't have a design for this online exam module, the UI UX design, then that is like dependency. You are dependent on someone, or a UI UX designer, or a backend person. So those are things
I just
called.
completed front end part of the online exam. I just now working on APIs,
Mm.
back end part.
So yeah, so you're resolving the dependencies, right? So you have to resolve these things. Dependency means you have something from external source, you want that information or any resource you want, that is a dependency. Okay, so if you have any dependency, let me know. I'll try to resolve that for you. And blocker. Okay, blocker means you're not understanding it, or you wrote some code and that code is not working. Okay, so it's not working at all, it's not working as expected. You wrote some code but it's not working. You're not
Like
trying.
unused
Yeah,
code.
yeah, not unused. The code, for example, you click a button that should open a dialog box, but when you wrote some code for that, but when you click on it, it is not opening, right? So then there is something wrong in your code. There might be a bug or anything. So that is a blocker which is stopping you to move forward. Okay, if you are dependent, means someone has to provide you the information, and if you are blocked, means you have to resolve on your own. See, someone will not come to you and write the code for you, or so it's not working as expected, so someone will not come, right? You have to resolve it. So if you have things like you are not understanding the concepts, or like not understanding the technology, or any concept in React, or anything, if it is blocking you, let's take like some, you wrote some code for navigating to a different page and it's not working as expected, so then you're blocked, you cannot continue your work. So I will ask, while working on project, I'll ask you, do you have any dependencies or blockers? Okay, but you have to tell upfront. Dependencies, yeah, I have this dependency. Some person has to give me the API, or someone has to give me the information about this. So that is dependency. And if you are working and something went wrong and you are blocked, or some other library is blocking you, something is blocking you to continue or move forward, then you have a blocker. So we have to clear these two things in completing our task. Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining. I think two people left. Who are those? I just wanted to meet them tomorrow. Like I see 9 people by starting this session. Two people are missing. Do you know who is that? I'll see. Maybe. Yeah, ping me, guys. If you know the names, ping me in personally, not in the chat. Ping me personally. The names who are missing. I want a one-to-one session tomorrow with them. Guys, any doubts? Anything? Fast అయితున్నానా? Slow అయితున్నానా?
Okay, sir.
Sir, how to create a React app in Spring Boot?
React app in Spring Boot?
Yes, sir.
No, Spring Boot is a technology that is backend. Okay, it is a JavaScript. That is
Sir,
different.
with the use
Mhm.
of NPS, with the use of
Sorry?
NPS React app,
No, your voice is breaking, Bhagwan.
sir, with the use of NPS,
Hmm.
create React app, then your directory name, folder name, then it will
Correct.
create an React app in Spring Boot, content part of the Spring Boot.
Okay. No, you should not mix Spring Boot with React. Okay. So I'll tell you here. We can extend actually. Okay. So if someone is having any other work, or you can drop off. Like we've wrapped up. If you wanted to stay, you can stay. And if you have more questions, also you can stay. Once I complete this, like if you have more questions, we can discuss. But if feel free to drop if you we are done here today. We have good discussion, and thanks for joining. Like we have HTML understanding here. And if you want to drop, please feel free to drop. Okay, I'm continuing. Okay, so Bhagavan, Spring Boot. So you have Java, right? Java programming language, right? So Java. So Spring Boot is a framework, Java framework, okay, for creating APIs. So this framework means Spring Boot. This is completely backend, okay. So I already told you, like this is this side you have backend, and the left hand side you have front end, right? So React is front end. So how you will write, how you will create? So npx, you told, right? Npx, what is that? Create React app, right?
Yes,
React
sir.
app. And project name, you give your project name. No, this will not create a Spring Boot app. Okay, this will create a project that we already discussed in the last class. Maybe I'm not sure you are there or not. We have something build tool called create React app. Okay, this create React app is already deprecated. We are not using it. Whatever the command that you told, right? Npx create React app. This is the command, right? So
Yes, sir.
this command will not create a Spring Boot application. This will create a React app. The naming itself you have here, right? Create React app. Okay. So
Yes,
this
sir.
means this is a build tool, and we use this to create a React app, not Spring Boot. And Spring Boot is a backend. Don't mix the backend with the front end. Front end is separate, backend is separate, separating concerns. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Spring
Sir,
Boot.
it will create an separate back and for separate, the front end for separate. It will create it because I am
So
using this in my project, many of the projects.
okay, maybe you are wrong. Actually, I will clarify you. Like we can have one session uh, on this, like tomorrow, 1-to-1. If we have, I'll discuss with you. But someone guided you wrong, or you might taking things as wrong. But um, like, see, this is a tool. Okay, this just a tool to create React app, and we are not
Yes,
using
sir.
it.
Sir, I know that React is a framework. That is different. This is different.
Mm,
But I thought we are building uh, some project like both are happening in the same time,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
front end and
So
back end. That's why
okay,
I
okay.
thought,
Okay, so you are maintaining the same folder to have two things in one
yes,
folder,
sir.
right? The back end and front end. Okay,
Back end.
okay, that's okay, fine. No issues as of now. Like, but like every time you have to maintain separate. Okay, let's
Yes,
say,
sir.
for example, you have some code change in the React, and let's say you have a folder. Okay, you have this folder, and inside that folder you have React, and also like you have a Spring Boot, right? Like this. So this you should not maintain like this. Actually, first thing first, you have to
Yes,
separate the
sir.
front end and back end in separate folders. Why, I will tell you. Okay.
This is the blocker I face now.
Okay.
The
So-
front end and back end as both are in same project.
Okay. So you should not maintain like this. Why? Because let's say tomorrow you have a server. Okay, you have one server, and inside you deploy this code to this server. You host this code inside this server. Okay. For example, tomorrow you have a small change in React in the front end side. So you have to deploy full again. You have to deploy completely. So you don't should not maintain like this. You maintain backend separate, front end separate folders, and work on it. I'll clear. Like if you want, we can connect tomorrow, or like if I have time tonight, I'll ping you. What's your name? Bhagwan, right? I'll remember, and we'll discuss more on this. And anyone else having questions? Anyone? Santosh, Naresh?
Yes, sir. I will ping you in WhatsApp.
Sure.
Yeah.
Santosh is done. Satish, Naresh.
Yes, sir.
Do you have
Hello?
any questions?
Or if you have, I have any question, I will ping you in WhatsApp.
Okay, sure. Sure.
Ram, can I leave?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Anyone? Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. And
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
yeah, bye. We'll see
Yeah.
again.
Bye. Sir.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay, sir.